Hello gentlemen, my name is MasterofRoflness. I'm here to give you guys a PA cast on an awesome lava planet called, let's see, Lava Template. Wow, I would love to call my son that. He would get so popular with the ladies, especially the women. Anyway, so, we're seeing Grep over here in the yellow trunks, doing his little thing, starting off with a couple of mexes and an energy storage. While we also see Kikser going with the 3 mexes, power plant, and then into a bot factory. So already we can see Kikser going off with just having the military advantage with getting that factory out a little bit quicker. Also with the fabricator advantage by having the ability to just pump out fabricators a lot sooner. Now, both of these players are actually close together, which is actually really, really cool because we can see some early docks gameplay, maybe some commander rushes. We can see that Grep will have that bot factory out soon. Now, the reason why Grep is getting the energy storage is so that he can be a little bit energy safe later on in the game, which is pretty cool for you to do. It's a really good strategy because then you don't have to worry about energy so much later on, and you don't have to go like, oh, I'm negative in energy, oh, everything's ruined. But at the same time, he gets that bot factory out a little bit later. So do keep that in mind that when you do spawn in close proximities like this, it's actually a lot better to get out the bot factory a lot sooner than the energy storage, because the energy storage is more like a late game build, whereas the bot factory is more of an early game build. Now this is really interesting. Grep is going for more of a docks early game harassment strategy, so to speak, while Kikser is going for a fabricator spam. So already he's building 4 fabricators. He has some power plants out, just like Grep is building. In fact, Grep has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 power plants. Kikser has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power plants, so Kikser is at an advantage. So what Grep is doing is just moving around the max fields, trying to see where Kikser might be, where his expansions might be. If only he moved down just a little bit closer to this area, he would be able to just annihilate both these fabricators, shut down this mex point, and then destroy all of Kikser's influence in this area. I think Kikser might be able to find Grep before Grep ever finds Kikser, which is a little bit of an embarrassment since apparently Grep is going for this early dock strategy. Now, right now, Kikser has a lot going for him. He has, I think, a lot more production in some cases if he does hold on to these mex points over here, and over here, as well as if he can circle around to this area and grab this giant field, he'll be able to put Grep in very uncomfortable position, because over here on his backline, Grep doesn't have a lot of mexes. He does have a field over here, but not too many, while Kikser has the entire fucking Indian Ocean back here. Just massive amounts of mex fields and mex fields. So this is very good. Also, he's being blocked off by these mountains, which makes this entire base pretty much easy to defend, unless Grep is able to build like a 2-minute nuke, then this base is a death trap. So Grep is going for a missile turret. That's good. Hold down these territories. You want to go for the missile turret early because that will destroy doxes, but then later on you want to rely more on single tower defenses and double laser tower defenses, maybe even triple if the game gets a little bit too late. Wow, this is a really aggressive expand. Holy shit, this is like the 5-minute hatchery build into your opponent's base. So already Kikser, if he's able to reclaim some of these fabricators and stop Grep's production, then he's going to be at a monumentous advantage. And over here we can see 2 fabricators on a missile turret, whereas Grep only has 1. Not looking good. Fabricator going down. Another one could go down for Kikser as well. No double kills yet. Holy shit! The super reclaim with the commander support. So already 4 fabricators going down for Kikser. This is really bad. And another metal point is actually going down as well for Kikser, which is unbelievable. So he's just lost most of his production due to the fact that most of his fabricators have died, and now he's actually lost the metal point. He's still ahead in mexes, but because he has no fabricators to really build any defenses, he can't really secure these metal points, which is actually really bad for him. And now we'll be able to see Grep sort of push out with these doxes as well as these commanders. Now I really want to see a pelter come out. Yeah, there we go. The pelter, that's good. That will pretty much enable Grep to defend his base a lot easier, which means that he doesn't have to worry about the doxes too much, and he'll also be able to destroy these mex fields that are outside of his base, instead of just having to send in a massive army of doxes, which is good. He should really be using these fabricators to build these mex points. In fact, he should really be sending in the majority of these fabricators over here to the front lines. That way he can build some, factories, build more pelters. The more pelters he has, the more of his ability to enclose Kikser will, pretty much enable him to win. Kikser, on the other hand, he needs to rebuild his fabricators. Holy shit, he's actually still using only one fabricator to build right now. That's actually really bad. So Grep, even though he's at an economic disadvantage, Kikser is at a production advantage as well as just construction advantage. He's just doing really well right now. Kikser is really making the bad choice of going doxes instead of fabricators. It's not something you want to be. That's not in a position you want to be. You really want to continuously build fabricators over and over again. Grep will also soon be able to just completely out-expand Kikser if Kikser just does not build fabricators. Now, two of these commanders are battling it out over and over again, and honestly, commander battles are really defined by how many fabricators you have on one commander rather than the actual micro of the commander in question, because the fabricators really decide how much you can heal, how much damage you can take, blah all that stuff. 3 vehicle factories coming out for Grep, which is good. He has one factory constantly producing fabricators. You see, you really want to do this. He also has a bot factory that's producing only doxes. So now he's already satisfied both of his needs. He's satisfied his production needs. He's satisfied his harassment needs, which are, the doxes. And he's also satisfied his frontline needs by building these vehicle factories. He's been able to reproduce the fabricators if he's lost them. He's been able to keep them alive. And he's building a lot of turrets, which is good. He's holding down massive amounts of mech fields, and over here, like I said beforehand, if Kikser grabbed this mech field, then he would be at an advantage. Well, Grep has now grabbed this mech field, and now Grep is at an advantage. Let's look at Grep for a second. Air factory, so he'll be able to own the skies, but really it doesn't matter too much, because honestly, the game of Planetary Annihilation is more defined by Tier 2 air rather than Tier 1 air. Tier 1 air is really good. The interceptors are awesome. And the Tier 1 bombers do the job, but really it's the Tier 2 Hornets that hone in on whether or not you'll win a match or not. And honestly, if you don't have Tier 2 Hornets, then you are doing something fucking wrong. This is another mistake as well, not moving out with a bunch of escorts. He has a bunch of doxes over here. He can at least send in 3 to sort of help out this fabricator. But now this fabricator will go down. The next point will go down. That is actually really bad. Again, he needs to do a better job at keeping these fabricators alive. Now, in earlier games or in other games of this kind of caliber, I would say, with fabricators, 3 of them dying, not too much of an issue. 4 of them dying, not too much of an issue. That is to say, though, that in those situations where I say it's not too much of an issue, the players are constantly rebuilding fabricators. Unfortunately, Kikser isn't rebuilding them as fast as he should be. He's only built, like, a couple of them out of one factory when he really needs to mass produce a shit ton of them, as Grep now has so many advantages over him. Vehicle production is just skyrocketing, energy production, metal production. Grep is just doing so many good things, and switching over to tanks, oh, that's incredible. That's an incredible transition, to be honest, because now Grep will be able to annihilate wholesale armies for Kikser. Kikser does have a lot going for him, though. Let's see if he's able to kick some ass over here. So the doxes are killing some ants, blah. Pelters doing a good amount of damage. You see that probably what's going to happen is he's going to be able to kill a few vehicle factories. He's going to kill a few power plants. Now, here's the problem that Grep is making. Grep can actually go in and destroy Kikser if he wanted to. He's taking his sweet-ass time, and he really shouldn't be. What he should be doing is gathering up these fabricators right over here, or back in his mineral line over there. I said mineral line. Mech line over there. And sort of just heal up his commander. But apparently Kikser has forgotten an old notion of micro, so now Kikser will lose his commander. Let's see what's happening in his base. Nothing really, just some build-up, and Kikser does bite the dust. Well, that is GG. So those are pretty much kind of the faults of the players. Grep, he should have went in on Kikser a lot earlier, just annihilated him. He could have shaved off a few minutes. Grep did a lot of good things. Kikser, on the other hand, he didn't rebuild his fabricators. He didn't he didn't expand over here back to this area. He also didn't escort his fabricators, and he lost a lot of land and a lot of influence. He also didn't build a lot of turrets. He should have really done that. Anyway, thank you.